Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to start off something kind of special. There are 6 of us that are going to show you how to use your Cricut Explore Make It Now projects. I was on the Melody Lane Patreon Hangout and it just came up that they're so simple. I had said, you know, it'd be a great idea to do one a day and that way you build up your card stock. So, you know, if you get a birthday or an unexpected death or somebody's sick, you just go in and pick out a card. It's not a stress of, oh my God, what am I going to do? I know when I go into my craft room, first of all, my craft room is terrifying. My mother came in and goes, oh Lord. So it's scary. And that's something I've got to work on. But I know it's overwhelming when you come in and you see all this paper and all of this and it's confusing and you don't know what to do and you could do this, you could do this, and you could do that. Well, Cricut's taken the guesswork out of it for you. You go in, you look at cards, or they have projects or scrapbook pages. We're going to focus on cards. Each of us has chosen a card to show you and to show you how simple it is. And there are a lot of people that I've noticed, I'm on quite a few of the Facebook groups. I've noticed a lot of people either A, haven't taken their Cricut out of the box, or B, they've taken it out of the box and it's kind of just a really, really pretty, really expensive paperweight. Paperweight no more. Get them out of those boxes, girls. Hit the power button and let's go. And guys, sorry. So that's what we're doing today is we're here to show you how simple, how easy it is to do one of these projects to get you started. And then you can move on to creating your own things and taking time and having fun with it. But just to get over that initial, oh my God, overwhelming feeling, that's what we're here to do. So you're going to hear from me on Monday, March 2nd is myself. I'm Bridget and I'm at Normal July 14 on YouTube. And I'll list my blog in the link below. On Tuesday, March 3rd, we're going to have Melody Lane. She's going to be doing a project for us. March 4th is open. March 5th, we're going to have a lady by the name of Esther Lowe Carver with us. On the 6th, we're going to have Ian Garland with us. And on the 7th, we're going to have Jennifer Tomasic Sinsley, which hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I hope I did. If I didn't, sorry, Jennifer. So on March 4th, nobody's signed up yet. So if they haven't, I'll take that slot and do another card to show you how simple it is. And what we had done is put an open call in, I think, Melody Lane's Patreon Club to see if anybody wanted to do videos. And that's how it kind of came about. So to get started on my idea I had, and it's nice for me too, I kind of procrastinate. So it's nice to have these folks join me, these 6 other folks join me and say, yeah, it's simple, let's do it. So hopefully I'll get in here more too and start doing more videos and such. So let's get started. The card that I wanted to do was this I Miss You card. Now these I went up here, I'm on my iPad, and I selected just cards up here, but this is all the stuff you can do. You can look at all categories, but we're going to do cards for today. So cards are selected. So in the cards, there are tons of cards that you can do for all different occasions. And if you don't own the materials to make the card, they're going to charge you. It would be 99 cents unless you have the subscription. So that's how it works. You go and you pick out something you like. You say, oh, this is cute. My husband just was thinking of him today. This would be a really cute card to make my husband. It's all quick. It's all picked out. You're good to go. But I don't have a husband, so I'm going to make an I Miss You card. And the goal is for my son, but it may end up, my brother and sister-in-law live in Montana and I'm in Maine. So it may end up going to them. It's good for any purpose. This card I'm so excited about. Now I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's nice. I like that. So the next thing you want to come in and do is I looked and it says 30 minutes to an hour to make it. Right up there under the I Miss You card. And it also indicates that it's easy. So you can kind of go by those designations if you're looking in the cards. Then you come over and it's the project resources. So I have, whoops, sorry, hitting buttons here. I have everything we need. This was free, and I had purchased that, meaning that card came on one of my cartridges. And I believe that's the score line that says purchased there, or I'm not sure what that is. It's not showing at the moment. So the fun thing is they kind of give you a little description. This was made by Shannon. and she kind of tells you where everybody is. She's telling us it's going to make one 5.5 by 4.25 card, so that's a normal A2 size. And then it comes down and it lists our materials. So of course we need the Explore, the Design Space software. I do not use the standard grip mat. I find on the light grip, the blue, nothing tears. I have had nothing tear. I've had no vinyl. I've used Hobby Lobby paper. I've used Recollections paper. Nothing is tearing. I don't use the coordinations from Joann's in those packages because they leave like fuzzies on there. So I didn't even try it on here. I don't use it anymore. But so all those papers are cutting great for me. And I think it's because of the light grip mat. So I use a light grip mat. So we've got our stylus, that's in the machine, and I'll show you that. I've got my transfer tape. Oh, nope, that's the vinyl. I had transfer tape here. It must have ran away. Oh, it's over here on my project side. So transfer tape, and in my opinion, Cricut transfer tape, love it. Very good. And these are the colors of the card. Let me just see what else you'll need. Of course, you'll need adhesive foam squares, and if you want to sew and use thread, you can do that. So here's where it gets interesting, because in this card, she has some orange cardstock, she has some tealish aqua cardstock, and some, what did they call that, gray cardstock, and buttons. Well, I want to make a different colored card. I have paper that I really wanted to use. So that's what's great about this. They lay this out, and then you can say, oh, I have some paper that would look great with that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to substitute our own colors, but they've already designed everything for us. So now, let me show you what we've chosen. So I'm using a blue base of my card, and I've got vellum, because it calls for vellum. I've got transfer tape, I've got my Cricut vinyl, I've got my little piece here to cut out that was this piece right there, the aqua, and the orange that's showing on the screen, I'll just show you a snippet, is going to be this yellow polka dotted. So I've got all my supplies together. So now that we have that together, and like I said, my scoring tool is in my machine. So now that we have that all together, the next step we want to do is go over to the instructions. So the first instruction under there is to put our accessory into our Cricut scoring stylus into the accessory clamp. So we'll do that. And I'll show you how to do that in case you haven't seen that. And then we're going to cut the images from cardstock and Design Space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my camera so it can see my Cricut Explore so I can show you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. One thing before I show you the machine and get that all set up, I'm going to cut my paper down to size and get it on the mat while I'm off screen so that doesn't take away valuable time. And I'll show you a couple things on the Explore, like changing your settings and also putting the clamp, the scoring tool in and stuff like that. But as far as cutting paper and putting it on the mat, you guys know how to do that. So what I'm going to hit is make it now, since I want to make this card. And it's thinking. Cricut's thinking down here. He's very busy. And he's thinking. I made one of these earlier and he didn't have to think so long. Okay, dude. There we go. So it takes us to this screen. Now let me zoom in. So basically this is how I'm going to cut my paper. So this one here is actually this piece of paper, and I've got it cut down to fit that. And then the orange piece is actually yellow. And I've actually cut that one down to size because it was, the size was 5.25 by 4. So that's your normal first layer base. So I just cut that one down. So I will be skipping the orange. Now, the one I need is this one right here. And this is going to be white cardstock. So the great thing about this is, if you recall, we went up here. Our piece is up in this corner. I hate having to take the mat out, putting paper on, putting it in, out, in, out, in, out. You could do it like 8 or 9 times if you have different colors. So Cricut's been very thoughtful. And now what we can do on the mat is you hit it, you tap it. Double tap is what I've found. And you just slide it down to the corner. And the great thing is Cricut stops it where it needs to be. So you nuzzle in that, using white paper for that cut, I'll nuzzle in my white paper in the corner and it will cut out perfectly. So that's there. And then we have a vellum piece that we're going to cut. So we're going to stick that down in the opposite corner. And then we have the card base is here, which here it is pretty large. So it's not going to fit on the screen with our others. So we'll have to cut that one solo. But this is the iron. No, this is the I miss you part. I'm trying to see it on the screen. It's hard to see. And that one, we're just going to shove over to this corner over there. I don't know if you can see the little box, and it says, I miss you. So that's there. So now we're good. So now we have this, the aqua, up in the upper left-hand corner. We have the white in the lower left-hand corner. We have the vellum in the lower right-hand corner, and the vinyl that we're going to be cutting out of some pink, it's going to be in the upper right-hand corner. So let me get this focused. I just wanted to show you this on here. Let me get this focused on the machine to show you how to put in the scoring tool. Okay, so we're at the Cricut Explore, and you can see my blade is in dock B, or clamp B, and clamp A is currently empty. Here's the Cricut scoring tool. It's a pretty like salmonish color. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put it in. Now what you do is you push it in, you hold the bottom of the clamp to stabilize it, push down, and then lock it in. And then you're good to go. So now I've got my paper on here that I'm going to cut this time. So what I will show you is we'll go back to the iPad, and then I'll show you when it cuts, I guess, or I might just show you on the iPad. Sorry to wiggle you around a little bit. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to, you can still see the buttons. That's kind of like what I want you to see. As far as it cutting, it's, you know how it cuts. So we're gonna load our paper in, and on here, on the iPad, now that we've hit that, we are going to go back to our first cut right here, which is that green paper that I showed you, and we're all set to go ahead and cut this. So what we're gonna hit on here, we're gonna hit go. Oh, actually, we don't wanna go. We need to change up here because we're cutting cardstock. We're cutting cardstock, vinyl, and vellum. So we're gonna be changing our settings. So up here, even though it's blinking, we can cut. We're gonna go around and change that to cardstock. And then down here on our, trying to get it so you can see both here. Down here on our setting, it says cardstock. Let me see if I can get you in. I want you to be able to see the buttons. Trying to figure out how to get it to film. Oop. Okay, so let me bring you up. So right here it says cardstock. So that's what you do to adjust the settings. So it tells you if you want to go, you press the blinking go button on the Cricut Explorer and it will begin. So as you can see the little blinking here, we're going to go ahead and hit that and the cutting begins. So I can wiggle you so you can see the cutting. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we come back over to the iPad, and the iPad tells us here, load next mat. Please load next mat to continue. Okay, and it shows that it's done. So it's time to unload on the screen. So the next one that we're going to cut is actually this cut down here. So you can kind of pick the order of your cuts. Now make sure you just saw me hit that because that was still on. You can't cut with that on there. So we're going to come over here and we're going to cut this. Now this is still paper, so we don't need to adjust our settings. We're all set. So we're going to unload it and then load it right back in. And it wants to cut the orange, but we don't need the orange. So we're going to click on the white so that we can click the hearts, and it shows our cut right here. That's exactly what we want to cut. We're still using cardstock, so we're all set. So we're going to go ahead and click the blinking Cricut button here. And there it goes. Okay, so now you can see on the Cricut, the unload button is blinking and the iPad is telling us to load next mat. So we press OK, we unload. Okay, and we're not even gonna move it anywhere. We're just gonna go ahead and hit load. And then we're gonna come down here. This is the black one. It actually is the I Miss You. So let me bring the iPad up again, because now what we're gonna do, let me see. I'm trying to figure the best way here. Okay, let's see. Let's just adjust you down for a minute. Okay, so lift the mat up a little bit. Get that out of the way. Okay, so for this one, this is a little different because this is vinyl. So on your machine, at the top on the dial, you're gonna move it to vinyl and you're gonna watch, it's going to change on here. So it says set. So it adjusted my smart set dial to vinyl on the machine and it changes it here. So it knows I'm cutting vinyl now. So it has the perfect, it knows exactly what to do with the vinyl. So now I'm gonna hit the go button and it's gonna cut our vinyl for us. And I will be right back to show you how we're gonna cut the vellum. Okay, so we're back and I have my vellum loaded on my mat. I decided I wanted to cut 2 of these vellum pieces. So what I did is I went up to project copies up here. Just show you where it says project copies. I put in 2 and it just popped 2 of everything. So you can see on my various mats, if I go through them, 2 of everything is now placed on there for you. Get the vellum and the hearts right there. So, but we're gonna cut the vellum. That's the one we're gonna work on right now. So what I'm going to do is hit go. Now on the, there we go. On this machine, there's no setting for vellum. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to custom on our smart set dial. So just twirl that around to custom. And what's gonna happen is on here, it's going to pop up and let me see. Okay, oh, did I not get it in there? There we go. Okay, I didn't have it in there. So it's gonna pop up and say, choose custom material. So I'm gonna go down to vellum. It shows vellum on there, so I'm all set. My little Cricut head is blinking, so I'm going to push it on the machine. And here we go, it's gonna cut the vellum. And I will be right back to show you with the card base. Before we go to cutting the card base, I did want to tell you, be very careful with the vellum. One thing you're definitely going to need is a spatula. I had that one handy, so I grabbed it. Be very careful because this did tear right around the heart. So make sure on your mat, probably to put the vinyl where it's best worn. So where you usually put your cuts, for most people, that's the upper left-hand side of your mat that you use the most. Actually, you should rotate your mat too. I'll add in that little tip here. You can put the bottom into the machine first instead of the part with the hole is to hang it like on the shelf. Try to rotate your mat, you'll get more life out of it. But when you're doing this, when you're cutting vellum or anything really delicate, you're best off to put it where you are best worn to make sure that it's not, when you go to try to get it up, it doesn't rip. I had put mine in the bottom right-hand corner and that's where I got the tear. And the other thing I wanted to just show you while I have them in my hands is you can also save all the extras, like the hearts cut out of the paper, and I get a cute little vellum heart. So you can save that. Okay, so now we're moving on to cutting the card base. If you notice here, I've now changed it back to 1 project copy because that's all I'm really doing. I just needed 2 of the vellum pieces. So this is where we're going to use our stylus. So I've loaded my mat into my machine. We loaded the stylus together. So now what I'm going to show you is we are going to, and if you forget, there's a little stylus in the scissors, so it's going to score it and then cut it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit go. And what you're going to see is it's going to come up and say the scoring stylus is required. Please insert a scoring stylus into the accessory clamp and tap go. Okay. The only problem is I forgot to change it from when I had my custom setting for the vellum. So on my smart dial, I'm going to go back up and I'm going to use cardstock. And see, it's changed right on here. So I'm all set. I've got cardstock. My scoring stylus is loaded, and it was nice to remind me of that. So I've got that. So what we're going to do is the flashing button on the Cricut Explore. Let me get you so you can see this Explore. I'm sorry if I'm making anybody sick. I'm really not trying to. These aren't my usual. Usually I just do one video all the way through, and this is a little different for me. So I'll let you watch it cut. So this, I'm just trying not to have a 40-minute video. Okay, here we go. So first you saw it score, and now it's cutting with the blade. This is the base of our card that it's cutting. Okay, let me get this unloaded, and we have cut all of our layers, so we'll go ahead and get this card put together. Welcome back. We have all of our supplies here, and what I like to do on my iPad is go ahead and keep this in my line of sight so I can see what I'm doing to put it together. I will keep that over there because there's nothing you're going to miss on it. So we've got our pink piece of vinyl. We've got our layer. We've got our little white piece, our base layer, and our vellum. So what we're going to do first is we'll get our card base folded. Again, it's a 5.5 by 4.25, which is an A2 size card. And I don't know if you can see, there you go, there's the score line. It's very light, but it does fold. So if you just kind of help it along a little, just go to like the general vicinity and kind of push it a little, and it scores beautiful. Beautiful. We love beautiful scoring. We don't love ugly scoring, do we? Nope, we don't. So here's our card. Okay, so we're gonna go with it's a portrait style card, this is landscape, this is portrait. Because of a portrait, the way to remember it is a person sitting is usually this way. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to put our base layer on, which this is our base layer. So we'll go ahead and get that stuck down. And I'm gonna go ahead and use some Scotch Quick Dry. I just put a little, because sometimes I notice it kind of gathers up in the middle. I don't know if you guys have that problem, but I seem to. Okay, so I make sure I don't move stuff out of the camera so you can't see it. If my vision's a little off, I'm sorry. I was just recently diagnosed as diabetic, and my eyes are going blurry a lot and it's hard to read. So I'm waiting to get in to see my eye doctor. So if I'm a little off, that's why. Okay, so the next layer that's gonna go on our card is right here in the vellum. Now, the best advice I can give you, trying to see if that light, yeah, I guess it does help a little. The best advice I can give you as to why I had to cut 2 of these is I went crazy with the adhesive. I took the HEG gun, was running down the side, I was all excited, and then I put it on, and I'm like, oh, you can see it through the hearts. So yeah, so you've got to be very careful around the sides where you put your adhesive. Bring in just a little bit more. So because of that, we're gonna go ahead and stick this down first. Well, actually, I think what we're gonna do, trying to look on there. No, that was flat. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just put it's hard to look here and know where you can go with your adhesive. So basically, if I just stay to the corners, kind of up in the Up over in here is okay. You just need it to adhere. You don't need tons and tons of adhesive. So down here's all right, and I'm out of camera, which is what I was trying not to do. Go out a little bit. Okay, and then up here, as long as we stay there, and then we can put a couple dots there, and kind of just dot a little. And then over in here, we can put a bunch. So that's what we will do with that. Just, I kept this up here and just kept looking at it as a guide. And hopefully I have it going the right way. And I think I don't. No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, goodness. Oh, no, I don't. Well, it's going to go this way now, so it's going to be a little different. Well, actually, you know what? Oh, this is what I was doing. Ah, I did it right. Okay, Cricut can make it easy, but anybody can mess it up. That's what I'm going with. All right, I was thinking ahead. I guess I shouldn't have been thinking ahead. I need to stay right in line with my thinking and keep it pretty on point as I can. All right, so I have a little vellum hanging here, so we're just gonna trim that right up so you don't even see it. All right, and we did good with our glue because we don't have glue everywhere like I did the first time. I'm not gonna lie. And I'll show you the first card I made because this is my second one. I wanted to make it and just make sure I knew where everything was going and make it all right and look at some of my choices. So I did that. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead, and this time we can ATG it up. So we're gonna go here and there and there. Basically anywhere I don't see a heart, I'm gonna put it on there because I don't want this puppy coming off. And that's kind of sticking up. So the glue didn't work as well as I had hoped on there. So maybe it's better to just use ATG from the beginning because it's kind of coming up a little. So maybe the Scotch Quick Dry was not the best choice to use on my vellum. Or maybe I just didn't use enough. That's a possibility too. Because it's kind of coming up here. So that's okay. I've secured it in a few more places and put enough ATG to choke an elephant. So I think we're good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this right on here. Oh, it's so cute. And the other one I do some variations so you can kind of see if you change it up a little. So this one, we'll go ahead and I have little buttons, white ones. And I don't know if I really like the white ones. Maybe we'll go with just the blue. I think gives it a pop because it's on white. So I think we'll do, since I did my back layer in blue, I think we can match it up there pretty good. All right, there we go. Okay, so we got those. So now first what we're gonna do, so we're gonna set this part aside after we get some adhesive in there. See if this will work down here. I don't want to put too much because I don't want it showing through the vellum. And that puked out the side. So, oh, nope, not the transfer paper. Get the extra glue off here. Okay. This might actually be something really good to run through your Xyron. And I have pretty much every model, so I just didn't think of that till now. Okay, so we're gonna move this part aside for a moment and we're gonna focus on this part, which is the part that goes across the front of the card. So this is where our vinyl comes into play. So our vinyl, you're gonna wanna make sure you have either the scraper or like a bone folder. So I'm just gonna make sure everybody's hooked down and good to go. Last time I had some trouble. And I also made a choice on this, and I'll probably make the same choice. I didn't like the punctuation. I didn't like the tops of the eyes, and I didn't want the period at the end of the sentence. So if you would like those, feel free to keep them. That's totally up to you. And I'm gonna keep my, what they call dental pick handy here. Hopefully handy. It just rolled somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, good. Okay. So, all right, there's our period in case we want it. I'm not really into it. And that worked really good. That's why I always try to burnish your vinyl so that it's kind of sticking to the sticky paper really, really good. because I had a lot of trouble with the eyes. I mean the eye, this one. This one's just a troublemaker. Every time I made this. He is a troublemaker. All right, so now we're gonna get our tweezers and we're gonna put him back in line where he belongs, whether he likes it or not. All right, so we'll continue with that. Just like to get him back in line. We can straighten him out in a minute if he's not straight. Okay, which he's not straight. And that other eye came out nice. I'm just not into the periods. I like how it looks without them. So that's my own personal taste, personal choice. So let's get this dude back in line where he belongs. All right, so I like that. Gotta make sure to come over and take the part out of my O so everybody knows it's a U. You would kind of know it's a U anyways because, you know, it looks like an O. So you would be set. All right. And like I said, not into the periods. I don't like them. I don't like them. Maybe I will someday. At least I have the option. So that's cool. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to take our transfer paper. I love Cricut's transfer paper. And we only need... And I like it. I love these lines. I know other people use other ones, but I tried the stuff from the Dollar Tree. Did not work for me. Was really bad. It stuck to my vinyl. I destroyed like vinyl, so I probably won't use it again. But for some people, it seems to work, so woohoo! All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off what I don't need here. I'm just being overly cautious, kind of, I guess you could say. I just like to have it as trimmed as possible when I go for the transfer tape. Basically, it's my main motivation is it saves transfer tape. My other motivation is it makes it easier. So, but the financial one comes first. Okay, so now the fun part, and I say fun and I'm being facetious, is that trying to get the transfer tape to split. Hopefully you have nails or something that can fit in there. So I finally got it. And it just feels like masking tape is what it really feels like. I'll have to pick some of that up and try it and see if that would work. I don't usually do large vinyl projects, but sometimes I do. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that on there. We're gonna make it stick. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we are gonna burnish the heck out of it. So we're making sure all of that is stuck down. It is best friends with the transfer tape. Can't say BFFs because they're gonna split in a minute. But right now, you want them to be best friends. And let's see how we did. So we come on here and then we start peeling this up slowly. Oh, helps if you're on camera. You're trying to show somebody how to do something. So you just start peeling this up and voila, it worked. The burnishing is the secret in my opinion. Okay, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna take our piece of paper and I'm gonna try to get them as centered as possible. Like I said, my eyes are a little wonky right now. So what we're gonna do before we put the vinyl on is we are going to, all right, I thought I had glue dots. I do not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little 2 buttons and we're gonna put them through the Xyron. Oh, actually, oh, I'm losing them. Okay, what we're going to do first, I think in the picture, let me just see. In the picture, let's see if there was thread through those. It doesn't look like there was. I think the thread was just for the, if you were sewing around the card, which I didn't do. I'm just issues right now. So it would be hard to, and my son's not here. So it would be very difficult to get out the sewing machine. So we skipped that. All right, now we've lost one of our buttons on the side. Ooh, oh goodness, it just spit it out at me. Okay, so we're not gonna use those. I'll try to get those out of the Xyron later. I got my buttons stuck. Okay, so we're gonna grab 2 cute little blue buttons and trying to think how we're gonna put those. Ooh, glossy accents. Okay, so we'll do the buttons at the end. So we'll just, and they're 2 different colors. All right, I think I had one still left in the Xyron. Ah, here we go. All right, that was a darker one. Okay, so we're gonna put the 2 buttons there. Get this little bugger out. Oh, I'm gonna have buttons all over my craft room. You guys can relate, I'm sure. So just for spacing, I'm gonna leave the buttons there. And I think I like it right here. So let me look and see. That's the good part about using the video camera. I don't like it so low. So we're going to take it, put it up a little. Let's see what we got. Oh, we don't want it way up there. Okay, do I like it? I kind of like it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I think the U is too high. So I'm going to burnish it. Like I said, my sight's not 100%, so I could be wrong. But so this is what we're going to do. We're going to burnish this. And look how beautifully that came off. Oh, and the U's already down. Okay, we didn't, well, let's see if we can get it to pick up the Y. Well, what we can do is come in here and wiggle the Y down just a smidge-a-digin. A smidge-a-digin. Have you ever heard of a smidge-a-digin? Me either. I just made it up. Okay, so the U, let's check if we like, we can cut off here because it's just the O and the U we're working with right now. And I like that placement. So I'm gonna put that, and we'll give the Y a little extra love too while we're right here. Just being careful not to rip up what we already put down. Burnish it. Now the paper and the vinyl are BFFs because they're gonna be together forever. All right. Okay, and then I've got to find a way to stick those down. So first what we're gonna do is go ahead and we will get adhesive stuck under this. And when I do things like this, make sure you always put one in the middle because you don't want your project falling in. So I got those on there. And then I think we're going to put this on and then we'll use glossy accents to go ahead and put on our buttons. That's one word I love to hear people say because it sounds so different from just all over different places. Buttons. I'm sure some of you are going, wow, that's how they say it in Maine. You know? Okay, so now we're gonna get some glossy accents out. Glossy accents are fun. Alrighty, ooh, there's hairy glue stuff hanging out. Okay, so we're gonna use, oh no, that's transfer tape. We don't wanna waste that. We need an ugly piece of paper. Well, I'll use one of the negatives from the hearts just to get it going. Okay, and then we're just gonna put two little dots of it, one there and probably one there. They're pretty small. So I got two little dots of glossy accents. Make sure we get that on nice and tight, nice and quick. And then we're gonna go ahead and drop the button in it. And if I could get my buttons to match which way they were going, that would make me very happy. If you don't watch my craft channel, I'm a little OCD, if you haven't been able to tell. All right, so I'm using my tweezer bees and I'm hoping this doesn't shoot across the room. I just put it through the holes in the buttons so that I can get it going as close to the way that I want as possible. And that looks pretty stinking good. Okay, I'm gonna move the other glossy accents because I don't want that all over my table. Crazy me. Okay, so here is our card right now. Now we're gonna work on the inside, but we're not gonna attach it to the inside yet because of the glossy accents needs to dry. So I went ahead and I cut out strips. This is a 1 inch by 4 inch strip of the yellow. This is a 1/2 inch by 4 inch strip of the green. So we will get the glossy accents out of the way, and then we're gonna go ahead and just put a little of this there and get that on. I always like to dress up the insides of my cards because it seems weird if you only do the front and you don't do the back, the inside. So, and usually I always leave enough room to write a note, but generally I just write a quick note like, hope it's a great day or something like that. I really should write to more people. Okay, and I think that's crooked, and yes it is. All right, it kind of already glued a little bit, so see, did we fix it? Kinda. All right. I'm sorry, my eyes are just driving me crazy right now. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and trying to get it to go straight. So we will just put some ATG down on the strip. And that way I have a little wiggle room. You don't have a lot with ATG, but I usually have a little. And that's too far down, it seems. Okay. Well, goodness. I'm having some issues, folks. Okay. Get it, line it up. I try to line it up at one end, and usually if it's lined up at that end, it's lined up the whole way. So we'll get that in right about there. All right. That looks pretty good. There we go. Okay, now that I'm done fudder-duding with that, we're gonna go ahead and stamp the sentiment. So on the front, you remember, we have in vinyl, I miss you. So I decided to use, I just got my new, my pink stamper stamps. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually what we're gonna do first is go ahead and get this stuck down on our card. It kind of helps you with spacing. So if you're gonna do a stamp, I like to go ahead and get everything you're gonna get on the page first. Get that done. Okay, and the stamp that we're using on the inside is You Have Been on My Heart Lately. She had a lot of great ones. This is the Thoughts of You set. And unfortunately, I have it out of the wrapping, but just a lot of miss you, thoughts of you, my love, a quick note for you, when I think you a smile, some great ones. So you can check her out. She's mypinkstamper.com. So I love her stamps. So I decided to go with one, and I've been missing my brother lately. So this will probably go to my brother, and my son's always on my heart. So either way, it works for pretty much anybody in family, friends, because family and friends have your heart. So that, now that we've done this, we can go ahead, I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute there. And we'll go ahead and, put a piece of my hair in the card. So now that we're not gonna really disturb the buttons, we're just gonna go ahead and open it up and throw this in here. Kind of just looking at my borders all around, make sure they're decent. Not too bad. Sitting behind a tripod, not being able to see very well, not too shabby at all. So here's the card, and I had turned this on once already. Here's the card we were making, and here's the card we made. So I want to show you. So this is basically the card we made. I went with the same embellishments, just different colors. But I also went ahead and I made this card. So it's the same thing. I'm not really a button girl. So I went with a little twine here, right here. And I used the Cuttlebug folder. I just got it. I've been wanting this forever and I can't find it. Oh, good. I just bought it and I lost it. It's the X's and O's one. Oh, here it is. Okay. My craft room is that bad. This one right here. It's the Cuttlebug Hugs and Kisses. So I went ahead and did that on there. I thought it was fitting. And on this one, I popped it up with some pop dots. So the vellum is actually behind pop dots. So this one is flat right on the page, and this one is a little popped up. So both of them are so cute, but it was so easy. I could just take it and I could do this with no thought at all, just pick out my papers and ready to go. Or I could take a few more minutes and embellish it with some other great Cricut supplies like embossing folders and stuff like that. They have wonderful things. They also have some stamp sets. I'm gonna be honest, they just weren't in next to me when I did my video. And I do love my pink stamper stamps, but I do have the Cricut stamps as well. So thank you so much for being here. It's going to be chopped up. It's going to be a long video because I like to talk. And I wanted to show you the project, so I didn't know what parts you guys would want to see. So I hope you're enjoying this. Don't forget tomorrow to check out Melody Lane. I'll have a link to her YouTube. There we go. A link to her YouTube down below, and there'll be a list of everybody that's going to be in there and a link to them so that you can follow along this week. And hopefully this will make you so that you see your Cricut Explore and you're excited to try something new and see what you can do. There's really not, I hate to say there's really not anything you can do with the machine, but you know, try paper, try this, follow the settings, follow the guides they give you, and just unleash your imagination. If you're bored, just try something. If it comes out ugly, who cares? Nobody cares. You know, if you don't like it, throw it away, start over again. You know, just play around. But this is a good way for you guys to get in. If you've never scrapbooked, like some people, I think that would be a wonderful opportunity to try a scrapbook page if you've never done one and you're like, well, I might get into it, but I don't know where to start. Perfect thing, scrapbook page. Have a picture you like, you're done. You know, it's just nice and quick and simple. So I will say thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for sitting it out through this long video. I know it's long. I appreciate it so much. Don't forget to check out my blog at www.crazycatladycraft.blogspot.com. And as always, happy crafting.